Prepare to be amazed. We delve into the realm of extraordinary human beings who possess the rarest features that defy any and all expectations. From captivating eyes to peculiar bone structures, these individuals are living proof that uniqueness knows no bounds. People with different colored eyes. You know that moment when you're filling out a form and they ask for your eye color? For most of us, it's a no-brainer. But then there's people with heterochromia, a funky and rare eye condition that adds a splash of complexity to this seemingly simple question. So what exactly is this condition? Well, derived from the ancient Greek word of heteros, meaning different, and chroma, meaning color, heterochromia makes your eyes stand out in a crowd. According to the fascinating folks over at Medical News Today, it's when your peepers boast different hues, giving you a mesmerizing and one-of-a-kind look. Now, there are 3 flavors of heterochromia out there, each with its own distinct charm. First up, we have complete heterochromia. Imagine having 2 captivatingly different eye colors, like a sassy brown eye paired with a mesmerizing blue. Next on the list, we have central heterochromia. This is when your iris rocks not 1 but 2 colors, kind of like a cool and vibrant party happening right in your eye. Kind of like having a mini kaleidoscope, actually. Lastly, we have partial, where just a portion of your iris decides to break the color code. Picture this, stunning splash of contrasting color making a bold statement amidst a sea of harmony. Heterochromia can be primarily genetic, which means it runs in the family like a fashionable trait passed down through the generations. But it can also occur due to medical syndromes or even as a result of an eye injury. Here's the deal though, heterochromia, whether acquired or genetic, is incredibly rare. In the vast expanse of the US, fewer than 200,000 people have been blessed with this eye-catching condition. Hey, lucky enough to have this condition, you might end up like this guy whose mugshot landed him a modeling contract. He's single and free, ladies. People with uncombable hair. Let me tell you a hair-raising tale that'll make your head spin. A woman named Caitlin Samples from Georgia happily shared adorable pics of her son on social media. All seemed normal until a stranger slid into her DMs with a mind-blowing revelation. Brace yourself, folks, because it turns out her son's wild white blonde hair was more than just a fashion statement. It was actually a sign of an incredibly rare condition called uncombable hair syndrome. This condition is also known as spun glass hair, and the name pretty much nails it. Typically strikes children aged between 3 months and 12 years old, causing their hair to become frizzy, untamable. Talking about locks that defy gravity, growing in all directions and refusing to be tamed by any comb. Here's the kicker though. Hair is usually a striking shade of bright blonde or even silver. According to the hair experts over at the National Library of Medicine's Medline Plus, uncombable hair syndrome is no ordinary hair glitch. No, it's actually caused by a sneaky mutation in the genes responsible for hair growth. While most folks have cylindrical hair strands, those with this rare condition have strands that are quirky as can be, triangular, heart-shaped, or even flat. Caitlin Samples' son Lachlan is a truly one-of-a-kind because there's only 100 confirmed cases of this condition. This makes him part of an exclusive club of fabulous follicles. Also, fun fact, sometimes as these rare individuals age, the condition becomes less noticeable. People with supercolor vision. You know those amazing cells in our eyes called cones? Well, they're the unsung heroes behind our ability to see vibrant world of colors, as Discover magazine so brilliantly explained. Most folks have 3 types of cones, which works together like a dream team to communicate with the brain and paint our world with a kaleidoscope of hues. But there's a small percentage of people who are on a whole other level. They're called tetrachomats, and they have not 3 but 4 cones. Having an extra cone means that these individuals, as researchers believe, could potentially perceive a mind-boggling 100 million different colors. In their quest for the extraordinary individuals, neuroscientist Gabrielle Jordan and her team from Newcastle University embarked on an epic search. Their perseverance paid off big time, and in 2010 they struck gold and found their first certified tetrachomat. But that was just the beginning. As reported by the amazing folks at BBC Future, more mind-blowing tetrachomats were uncovered in the following years. And here's a fun fact, all of them happen to be women. But being able to see all these colors isn't always a walk in the park. Just ask Concetta Antico. She confessed to BBC Future that going to the grocery store is like entering a color war zone. It's a dazzling explosion of hues bombarding her from every direction. Just imagine being surrounded by an avalanche of colors that most of us can't even fathom. Talk about sensory overload. Interestingly enough, despite the multitude of colors she sees, Antico revealed that her favorite color is actually white. Why, you ask? Well, according to her, it's because white brings a sense of peace and tranquility to her extraordinary eyes. Sometimes simplicity can be the ultimate respite. A spleen for deep-sea diving. We're about to uncover the secrets of an extra-large spleen that brings a superpower to those who possess it. Sure, it's not something you can spot with a casual glance, but trust me, this hidden gem packs a punch for your immune system. According to the marvelous minds over at Nat Geo, the spleen's extraordinary abilities include helping the body recycle red blood cells. It's like having a recycling plant inside of you, doing its magical work behind the scenes. But here's where things get really fascinating. There's a group of people known as the Bajau, living their lives in houses and houseboats in the water of Indonesia, the Philippines, and Malaysia. These aquatic wonders have taken the spleen game to an entirely new level. The Bajau people have developed extra-large spleens that grant them incredible aquatic prowess, as revealed by the trusty folks at Healthline. While average folks can manage to hold our breaths for a modest 30 seconds to 2 minutes, these extraordinary individuals can go to a jaw-dropping 13 minutes, regularly diving up to a staggering 200 feet beneath the surface of their watery world. They can explore depths that would leave the rest of us gasping for air, or down below. So how did this amazing feat come to be? Well, researchers have discovered that the Bajau people have spleens that are approximately 50% larger than those of the average Joe or Jane. Quite the size upgrade. A study published in Cell shed light on this genetic marvel, suggesting that a mutation in their DNA, specifically the gene of PDE10A, might be responsible for this incredible adaptation. It's like a rare genetic mutation turned them into underwater superheroes. This exceptional spleen size is no overnight phenomenon. Scientists from the Center of Genetics at the University of Copenhagen believe that this rare characteristic emerged over thousands of years ago. All this through the power of natural selection. People with unbreakable bones. Dense bones are a fairly common occurrence as revealed by Professor Richard Gunderman from Indiana University. But typically, dense bones go hand in hand with brittleness and the dreaded osteoporosis. However, brace yourselves for a bone-rattling discovery. There's actually a select few families out there whose bones not only defy the odds and remain dense, but are also seemingly unbreakable. The medical community couldn't believe their eyes when they stumbled upon this phenomenon. All started with a man who miraculously walked away from a car accident that should have turned him into a jigsaw puzzle of broken bones. But when x-rays were taken, not a single fracture could be found, not even a dent. As the plot thickened, it was revealed that his bone density was a whopping 8 times higher than that of your average Joe or Jane. Curiosity piqued, researchers from Yale delved deeper into the mystery, only to uncover a mind-boggling revelation. The trait of unbreakable bones had been passed down through generations of this extraordinary family. And there's a fun tidbit. You could spot the lucky carriers of this rare feature from a mile away. This is due to their jaw-droppingly square-jawed faces. Members of this exceptional family reported some peculiar side effects. Turns out they weren't the most graceful swimmers, more like human anchors sinking to the depths of the sea. And as if that wasn't enough, hip replacement surgeries proved to be a real head-scratcher for doctors. According to science, there's yet another family out there with bones that could give Superman a run for his money. Their impressive bone strength comes bundled with curly hair and a rather unfortunate trade-off: brittle and fragile teeth. This extraordinary combination is known as trichodentoosteosis. This is a rarity gracing just a few thousand individuals. The root of this remarkable trait can be traced back to one bold Scottish sea captain who set sail to the US when it was still under British rule. Super Tasters. According to the tasteful insights from researcher Linda Bartoshuk, only a lucky 25% of the population can proudly wear the badge of a super taster. Now, what makes these super tasters so extraordinary? Well, it all comes down to those tiny tongue dots called a taste papillae. Super tasters have an abundance of these little guys, more than their non-taster counterparts. These taste papillae boost their sensitivity to specific flavors, like the bitter, sweet, and salty ones. But here's the twist. Super tasters have more pain receptors than non-tasters. So when it comes to spicy food, they tend to tread cautiously. It's like their taste buds have a fire alarm system, alerting them to potential mouth-burning situations. With that said, super tasters are less likely to be fans of smoking and typically have a lukewarm relationship with alcohol itself. Also, super tasters might not have the same love affair with veggies as their non-taster counterparts. See, veggies often have a hint of bitterness, and that's not always their cup of tea. Fear not though, because there is a silver lining. The nutrition source revealed that super tasters, especially the ladies among them, tend to boast superior cardiovascular profiles and lower BMIs. And here's a fun fact to savor. Super tasters don't have a strong affinity for overly sweet and fatty foods. Could it be that their exceptional taste buds are guiding them toward a balanced and wholesome culinary journey? Taste bud mysteries deepen. People with golden blood. Only around 0.6% of Americans have it. You might think that having the AB negative blood type is the ultimate rarity, but hold on to your blood cells, because there's something even more elusive out there. By way of the Australian Academy of Science, allow me to introduce you to the true unicorn of blood types, Ranol. Back in 1961, the world was astounded when an indigenous Australian became the very first person known to possess this extraordinary blood type. Since then, only around 40 more individuals have been fortunate enough to be labeled as Rarest. This solidifies its status as one of the most exclusive body features known to humankind. This blood type's so rare, there's just 9 active donors in the entire rare blood donor community. You heard that right, only 9. Sandra Nance, the director of the American Rare Donor Program, spilled the blood red beans at the Smithsonian. And let me tell you, Rarest is like the holy grail of blood types. So valuable and compatible with other rare blood types in the Rh family that researchers and doctors consider it golden blood. See you all next time.